Welcome back to God's Business Playbook, the podcast where we explore how biblical principles can transform the way we lead, build, and grow our businesses. I'm your host, Kirby Ingles, and today's episode will focus on God's economy in business, specifically how principles like integrity, long-term investing, and generosity can help us build a lasting legacy. Have you ever paused to think about the kind of legacy you're building in your business? It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day grind, focusing on immediate returns and quick results. But today, I want to take you on a journey to look deeper. What if success, according to God's economy, looks much different from what the world tells us? And in this episode, we're going to explore how Genesis chapter 16 through 19 offers some timeless principles that we can use to shape the way we lead, invest, and create an impact. So let's dive into the first section of this topic. Let's start by talking about integrity. Now, in Genesis chapter 17, verses 1 through 2, God establishes a covenant with Abraham, promising to multiply his blessings if he walks with integrity. This speaks directly to how we should run our businesses. Integrity is not just a moral obligation, it's a business asset. Today's competitive market, how often do we think about economics? Which is really we imagine it's cost, cutting those costs, increasing profits. But in God's economy, it's about how we build trust through honesty and transparency. It reminds me of a book by Stephen M.R. Covey, The Speed of Trust. Trust is a powerful currency. It's what keeps clients, employees, and partners coming back. It's what turns short-term wins into long-term success. Now think about the decisions that you make on a daily basis. Are you prioritizing integrity? Are you doing what's right, even when it's hard or more costly? And when we build our businesses on integrity, we're building a foundation that will last. And what challenges come, that foundation will keep us strong. Now let's talk about investing. But not in the usual sense. We're often think of investing as something financial. But as leaders, we invest in people, relationships, and decisions that may not yield immediate results. In Genesis chapter 17, God promises Abraham that his descendants will become a great nation, but it didn't happen overnight. Abraham had to wait. He had to trust the process and have faith in God's timing. In the business world, it's tempting to chase those quick wins, but real success comes from long-term investing. Whether that's reinvesting in your team, building deep relationships, making decisions that will pay off in the future. It's about planting seeds today and being patient enough to wait for the harvest. Are you investing with a long-term perspective, or are you chasing short-term gains that just might not last? Take a moment to evaluate where you're putting your time, energy, and resources. And remember, true growth takes time. In God's economy, faithful, long-term investing leads to the greatest rewards. Now let's dive into a principle that may surprise some, but we've talked about this a little bit before. Generosity. In Genesis chapter 18, verses 17 through 19, we see God talking about Abraham's blessings, extending them far beyond him to all or the entire or all nations. This shows us something very profound. Generosity is a multiplier. And in business, generosity is often misunderstood. It's not just about charity or giving away money. It's about how we use our resources, whether that's time, wisdom, or influence to empower others. Now, think about it. Just think about it here for a minute. When you mentor someone on your team, share knowledge with your peers, or recognize and reward hard work, you create a ripple effect of growth. Generosity is contagious. When you lead with generosity, you create a culture where people feel valued and empowered. That in turn leads to more innovation, higher morale, and better business outcomes. And the truth is, the more we give, the more we receive. Not always in material ways, but in growth and trust and impact. Now let's step back and take a look at the bigger picture here. Talked about integrity, long-term investing, and generosity. These three things are foundational principles in God's economy, and they're directly applicable to how we lead in our businesses today. Here's the challenge. Aligning your business with biblical principles isn't about short-term gains or cutting corners. It's about making decisions today that will build a legacy for tomorrow. Integrity ensures that you have a business that's built on solid ground, not shaky shortcuts. Long-term investing means thinking beyond immediate profits and focusing on sustainable growth. Generosity turns your leadership into a platform that empowers others, multiplies your impact, and creates a culture of abundance. And when you apply these principles, you're not just running a business, you're building a legacy that reflects your faith and your value. Now, as we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with a few questions to reflect on. Are your business decisions grounded in integrity? Are you investing with a long-term vision, trusting the process, and staying patient? How are you practicing generosity as a leader? Now is the time to reflect on these principles and apply them to your leadership. When we align our businesses with God's economy, we create something that lasts, something that impacts not only us, but the people around us. And today's episode, if it resonated with you, well, I'd love to hear from you and how you're implementing these ideas in your own life and business. And let's continue this conversation. Drop me a message, leave a comment, or share your thoughts with me on social media. And don't forget, if you want more insights on how faith-driven principles can shape your leadership and your businesses, well, make sure that you subscribe to God's Business Playbook. Thank you for joining me today on God's Business Playbook. And until next time, keep leading with faith, integrity, and generosity. My name's Kirby Ingalls, and I'll see you next time.